bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. Bim bam, biddy biddy bam, biddy bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. Bim bam, biddy biddy bam, biddy bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. Bim bam, biddy biddy bam, biddy bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. Bim bam, biddy biddy bam, biddy bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. Bim bam, biddy biddy bam, biddy bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. Bim bam, biddy biddy bam, biddy bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. Bim bam, biddy biddy bam, biddy bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. Bim bam, biddy biddy bam, biddy bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. Bim bam, biddy biddy bam, biddy bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. Bim bam, biddy biddy bam, biddy bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. Bim bam, biddy biddy bam, biddy bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. Bim bam, biddy biddy bam, biddy bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. Bim bam, biddy biddy bam, biddy bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. Bim bam, biddy biddy bam, biddy bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. Bim bam, biddy biddy bam, biddy bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. Bim bam, biddy biddy bam, biddy bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. Bim bam, biddy biddy bam, biddy bam, biddy bim bam, bim bam. הנה מה טוב מניים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב מניים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב מניים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב מניים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, יאללה לילה 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 לילה. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, יאללה לילה לילה לילה. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos to all of you. It's so nice to see you, and also to see some folks who I don't recognize. So if you are visiting or here for the first time, would you just tell us your names and where you're from? We'll start with you guys. You know what? Let me get the mic. Hold on a second. Because we do have people at home and they won't be able to hear you without the mic. So your names and what brings you to our congregation.
We are Marcia and Larry Dworkin.
I kind of knew that.
Yeah. Nee, Marcia Solomon Dworkin. Robert and I are first cousins. So, and we have been here before and want to support the synagogue. Very proud of it.
Good.
Very proud of your new president.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you.
And you're not biased at all.
Not at all.
Well, good. Thank you. Want to add anything?
No.
Okay, good. And I would love to hear where you guys are from and maybe just share your names.
This is our third time here, I think. Candace and Fred Hacker.
Oh, right, Candace and Fred. I haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're back.
It's been a while. Yeah, we're still here.
We were going to go, you were possibly going to go on the Israel trip with us that we had to postpone twice. Good. Well, I think everyone else here I know pretty well or know very well. So, I just want to start. Obviously, this was a big news day. Some of the news for many of us, maybe for most of us, was very, very distressing, very, very upsetting, very, very angering. The repeal of Roe v. Wade. I know that's on the minds of a lot of people tonight. There was also some news that was positive, some news that was hopeful. A bipartisan gun law was passed today, and I think in the times we live in, it's important to always find little glimmers of hope, and that's one, at least in my view. So I just, along with you, I would imagine, am praying for our leaders to use wisdom and to use thoughtfulness and sensitivity to help us get through this period in a way that doesn't tear this country apart, because right now we are very, very far apart from each other. And if our leaders are not responsive to our needs and our wants and our visions, then we need to vote them out of office and put new people in. But I know that's weighing heavy on me today, but there are glimmers of hope, believe it or not. We are going to light Shabbat candles, and I just realized everything else is in order for tonight, but I forgot to ask someone to light candles. So would someone like to light the Shabbat candles tonight? Roberta? Well, Roberta, you are president, so would you help me out and light the Shabbat candles? Okay, good. And if you want to follow the blessing, it's on page 120.
Are these the trick candles, though?
For you, yes. We only get the trick candles when you're doing it.
The lighter or the...
I would use the lighter, but it's up to you.
Make sure I don't set myself on fire. Whoa!
Whoops.
And I didn't even touch it. That's my first act, exactly. Knocking the candles over. Hold on. I heard that. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu v'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Page 138. We're going to continue with this song, Lecha Dodi. And for those of you who came to our Shavuot Tish a few weeks ago, and I think a couple of you here were present, we looked at some old documents from rabbis in the 19th century, in the 1800s, when there was this controversy about President Andrew Johnson declaring a day of mourning after Lincoln had been assassinated. But the date he picked conflicted with the holiday of Shavuot, when you're not supposed to mourn. So there was a whole controversy, and we looked at primary documents about it. It was really interesting. Even then, Jewish communities did not agree on how to handle the problem. But we did look at one prayer at the end honoring Abraham Lincoln, and it was written in the form of an acrostic. So the first letter of each line spelled out Avraham Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln. And this prayer we're about to sing, Lecha Dodi, is also an acrostic. That was a convention that a lot of Jewish liturgists over the centuries have wanted to do, where they embed their own names into the prayer, or they embed other people's names. So this particular prayer, if you look at the first letter of each of the 9 stanzas, spells out Shlomo HaLevi, Solomon or Shlomo the Levite. And he was the author of this particular poem. So even back then, people didn't always want to be anonymous. They wanted to take credit for their creation. So just something to think about as we sing it. We're going to do the first 3 stanzas.
1, 2, 7, 9.
1, 2, 7,
Sorry,
9.
1, 2, 8, 9. 1, 2, 8,
1, 2, 8, 9.
This will be a little less familiar than the other one, but hopefully not totally new. We'll wait till you get that phone, and then we'll...
And we all rise at the end at 7, 9.
Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nikabala. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nikabala. La 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 lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nikabala. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pnei pnei Shabbat nikabala. שמור וזכור ודיבור אחד. השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. לשם ותפארת ולתהילה, לה 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 לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לה 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 לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, ראש מקדם נשוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבת, כי לה 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 לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Number 8. ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תעריצי, יד איש בן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה, לה 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 לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Please rise if you can and face the entryway. בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, לה 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 לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לה 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 לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
And now that we've welcomed the Shabbat bride into our midst, please remain standing. We turn to page 144 and continue with the Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, וחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעולם עלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה, שמי לקודשה בריחו. לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בימה, ואמרו אמן.
Page 146.
לילה 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 ברכו את אדוני המבורך. Lambda.
Please remain standing and join me at the top of page 149. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the time of tide and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. And again together at the top of page 151. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod, Shem Kivod, Malchuto, Leolam, Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam la'ot al yadecha v'hayu latotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha L'ma'an tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kiddoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Page 158.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'chodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'chodesh. Nora oseh, Nora oseh Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Malchutecha ra'u בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש.
Please join me at the top of page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Haskivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
We turn now to the Amidah section of prayers. Our minhag, our custom here, is to chant the first three blessings together as a community, and then I ask you to continue on your own, each of us in our own way. And when you have finished this section of the prayer book, please be seated so that we know that you're done. Please rise, page 164.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agite hilhatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zalchei Chastei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo B'Ahava. Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Be'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol atah Rab Lehoshia. Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechaye HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim. Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishene Afar. Micha Mocha Bagurot, Umidomelach, Melech Meimit Umechayeh, Umatmiach Yeshua. V'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kdoshim b'chol yom yehalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Page 162. Vishamru B'nai Yisrael, Vishamru B'nai Yisrael et HaShabbat, La'asot et HaShabbat, La'asot et HaShabbat, L'dorotam, Berito lam, lai la 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 lai, lai la 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 lai, lai la la lai. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael, Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם. ברית עולם, לי, 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 לי. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם, לי, 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 ושמרו.
At this point in our service, we pause to think of those in need of healing on this Shabbat, healing of body, healing of spirit, and healing of heart. And we ask God to bestow the bracha, the blessing of refuah shlema, full and complete healing. And we ask it over the following men and women from our community, or those known and loved by those in our community: Lynn Feingold, Ilana Massey, Kevin Brackett, Michelle Camisia, Joshua Hyman, Diane Butler, Elsa Loach, Jesse Friedman, Tom Sabo, Beverly Eigner, Michael Cossin, Ed Eston, and Marjorie Gilberg. And if anyone has a name they'd like to add, I invite you to please do so. Okay, David Mendelson.
And Steve Della Majora.
The Misha Berach is on page 511.
Misha Berach Avotenu Nikor HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishe Berach Imotenu Nikor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, and good Shabbos again to everyone. You know, every nation wants to know what their promised land is going to look like. Our nation is wrestling with that as we speak. And our ancestors in their newly formed Jewish nation were wrestling with the same thing. And in this Torah portion, Shalach, which is from the book of Numbers, chapters 13 through 15, we see the famous episode of the 12 scouts. Moses sends out 12 scouts to reconnoiter the land of Israel, to go on a reconnaissance mission to see what is involved in the promised land that they are heading towards. They have only been traveling for 2 years so far since leaving Egypt. It's a very important mission. This is the land that God had promised to their ancestors, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, and Joseph and his family, and finally they're marching toward this land of milk and honey. But there are divergent opinions. When the scouts come back from doing their reconnaissance mission, 10 of them, for a variety of reasons, are very hesitant and very scared. They say, now is not the time. Let's not go and enter the land of Canaan. But 2 are more positive in their assessments, Caleb and Joshua. And they say, let's go. Let's enter the land. Let's try to conquer it. This was promised to us by God. Moses' squad is made up of a kind of team of rivals. And while most voice opposition to military action, except for the 2 I just mentioned, some advocate an incursion and an attempt at conquest. But the promised land turns out to be elusive. The people of Israel side with the majority opinion, and it will be decades before the Israelites re-enter their homeland. It'll be 38 years exactly, because as we all know, they wander through the desert for how many years? 40. So because of this decision, they have another 38 years to go. The leadership of the people of Israel, as we see in this Torah portion, hold diverse views and opinions. They don't always agree on strategy, and only the minority seem to possess courage and vision. But everyone, all 12 of them, have a vote. And the team must work together, or at least try, as they transition from being slaves to being free. It is the responsibility of each leader, of each scout, to guide their people to the promised land, even if their tactics differ. Now, this Shabbat represents a transition for CBS as well, a time to take stock, to assess plans, and to move forward as a congregation. It is a time, as I said, of transitions, of ends, and of beginnings. We welcome 5 new board members to our leadership: Naomi Petrick, Dave Dubrow, Phyllis Clyde, Allison Frost, and Mark Charney. And some of you are here tonight, and some of you I know are watching from home. We are excited for them to join our shul's governing body, and we are grateful for their commitment to this congregation. We also say goodbye, lehitraot, to 5 other members of our board who are departing: Josh Slater, Seth Turbo, Ellen Elson, Bradley Wasserman, and Eve Kahn. We appreciate their time and devotion to this community, and we look forward to our ongoing relationships with each and every one of them. I am especially grateful to Mark Samrick, our past president, for his leadership and commitment. Mark, I think you're right there behind Deborah. He will be working very closely with our new president, Roberta Solomon, who brings her own deep set of passions and skills to this role. The mission of a synagogue board is to sustain and build a spiritual community. And that represents the embodiment of a brit, a sacred covenant between us and God. It is a network of I-thou relationships meant to support and enrich our lives, a network in which we are all equals. The board's task as our leaders is to nurture and guide this sacred network of relationships, even when our views and opinions don't always align, like the Scouts. And together, each with our own unique role to play, our job is to co-create a promised land here at CBS. And so it is my honor to call up to the bima our new board, those of you who are here from our new board, and install them as the lay leaders of our wonderful and warm congregation. I'm going to also call up Daniel and Jeremy to help me with this talit. So, new members of the board and those who are remaining on the board, please come forward. Daniel? Just take one end of it. You can go back a little. Whoops. You just hold it up high. And would you all gather under the...
Okay, we're going under. Hold it high, guys. She's not a little tall.
My dad, I don't know how everyone's, I have to put my mic back on, I don't know how everyone's Yiddish is. Does anyone know what the word starker means? What's a starker? A big, strong guy, or woman. So Jeremy and Daniel fit that bill. So I needed a couple starkers to hold the talit up. I am so excited to work with some of you I've already been working with, but our new board, and I know, again, some are at home. I have very high hopes for this board and for this congregation, and we are building on a lot of success over the past couple of years. So I would just like to offer you a blessing. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May God's countenance shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisad Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's presence be with you and grant you all peace. And let all of us say, Amen. Mazel tov. Okay, thank you. Okay, you can go sit. I can take it. Thanks, Daniel. Thank you. In a minute. We are going to turn now to page 586 for our concluding prayer, the Aleinu. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורר עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Even though she was just up here, there is no rest for synagogue presidents. So I'm going to invite Roberta Solomon to come back up. Oh no, Seth Turbo for the announcements. Okay, forget what I just said. Seth is here. Seth is giving the announcements tonight. And Seth, I don't want to embarrass you, I hope it's public now. But Seth is a past board member and a friend. I married Seth and Rosanna. I officiated at the baby naming of their son, Diego. And sadly, Seth and his family are going to be moving very shortly. And so not only are we losing his talent as a board member, we're also losing them to another congregation in Erie, Pennsylvania. So we hope you will come back and visit. And if anything ever brings us out to Erie, we're gonna come and knock on your door.
Oh, he's moving there. I thought that was a long commute. You know?
Okay, please.
Hello, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
All right, here we go. All right, Monday is the first camp of Havarim. We can't wait to have all the campers here. July 1st, my birthday, if you're keeping track, will be a special Shabbat with a special guest of our Israeli team volunteers for camp speaking and a barbecue oneg to follow. Thursday, July 7th, we invite you to participate in our synagogue member pool and potluck event. RSVP online. Be sure to let us know what you're bringing to share. August 7th, CBS will be at the CIA Kopia L'Chaim Jewish Wine and Beer Festival. Tickets are on sale now via Eventbrite. We'd like to give warm wishes to this week's birthdays and anniversaries. This is where I butcher some names. All right, Sabrina Stoltz, Lynn Feingold, Gary Mitzler, Mark Siegel-Wood, Eva Kaufman, Sylvan Orr, and Jay Bilstein. Happy anniversaries to Martin and Harriet Spitz, David and Lynn Posner, Stan and Ida Press, David and Donna Mendelson, Mark and Terry Charney, and David Shalom and Jennifer Walker. That's it. Thank you, everybody, for being so welcoming to me and my family. I really appreciate it. Sorry to see you guys go. Thank you.
Thank you. You will be missed, Seth. Same with Rosanna and Diego. As we near the end of our service, our thoughts turn to those who are no longer with us, those who have departed the earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We remember those who have died during the past 12 months. Larry Elson, Arnold Trombler, Erica Cornelison, Gladys Shubin, Richard Magano, Clark Smith, Stephanie Rab Axner, David Ernesto Kaplan, Pat Pate, Annette Goldberg, Maggie Sherman, Sandra Benko Fichtenberg, Nicholas Huff, George Montano, Dean Wilson, Norman Charney, David Alpert, and Renee Munoz. We also remember and honor the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of the deaths of Rebecca Melner, Joseph Bean, Earl Gordon, Carl August Lehman, Mac McCaslin, Nelson Eston, Hannah Castle, Shirley Blitzstein, David Kahn, Alexander Schechter, and Meyer Foreman. And if anyone has a name they wish to add, please do so.
Tom Nelson and John Logan.
My grandmother, Ida Bama.
And Mary Jensen.
The mourner's cottage is on page 598. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei rabbah v'alma divrach heretei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael b'gala uv'izman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'alam u'amei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudsha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata Damiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the source of peace grant peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us all say, amen. Please be seated. One final announcement. I don't think it was in there, but our 2 Israeli teens who are arriving within the next couple hours from Israel and who are going to be living with our families and serving as counselors at our summer camp, Camp Chavarim, they're going to be speaking here next Friday night. So if you want to hear about the lives and get to know these 2 wonderful teenagers, I think they're juniors in high school in Israel, that would be a great way to support them. So if you can come to services next Friday night, I invite you to please do so. What? Mark. I don't know. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what. You have something you'd like to give to Mark? Okay, this was a surprise to me. Judy, you want to come up? Yeah, Mark, come on up, Judy. I'm sorry, Bert, I couldn't understand what you were saying. Oh, okay. Although I do remember there was a surprise. So you surprised me too. Here, let me get the mic. Judy, why don't you use this? It's better.
Okay. Mark, Rabbi Artie. It isn't on?
It's on. Yeah.
Okay.
It's on.
Rabbi Artie thanked you for serving as our president, but Roberta asked me to thank you once again and thank your lovely wife also. You did a great job. I know we were challenged many weeks and months, but we want to thank you very much. Wow. This is from your fellow board members for you and Sylvia to enjoy a little bit more. Great. Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
And thanks to all of you. It's been a pleasure and a real memorable experience.
Mark, you want to say anything?
Yeah, it's been just a great lifelong memorable experience that I will have having the opportunity to do this, and I wish all the best to Roberta, and I know that we're in good hands, and I know that this is a great synagogue to be a part of, and thank you for everything.
Okay, we're going to turn to our final song. Gordon, what do you have for us tonight?
Well, a few weeks ago, or longer, I've lost track of time, I did a song, an old Seekers song that I have always liked, and it's still sitting up here. And looking at it, it's, given even what's gone on in the last few weeks, it takes on a whole new meaning, and it'll mean different things to different people. So I'll just sing it, because the lyrics are sitting right here. I know that one day soon a song will rise. You'll hear it with the sleep still in your eyes. You'll wake into a brand new day. Can you hear bells ringing, voices singing far away? A time when humankind will be as one. A time to reach right out and touch the sun come the day. Freedom's still a thought within your mind, the fleeting thing that some may never find. It may be still a million miles away. Can you hear bells ringing, voices singing far away? A time to live without doubt or fear. Welcome to the happy world that will be here come the day. The trumpets of war will cease to blow. the sound I hope that we may never know. We're waiting for the day. Can you hear bells ringing, voices singing far away? Lift up your voices and sing this song. Let the whole world hear it loud and strong. Can you hear bells ringing, voices singing far away?
Very nice. Let's rise for the Kiddush and Motzi. If you want to follow the Kiddush, it's on page 123. Would you lead us?
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshana b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kadsho b'yahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lamikraye kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'yahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim. Now, we have some members of our congregation who make mean challahs, really good challahs. But this one looks pretty impressive for our oneg tonight. It's from buttercream, correct? So I am sure this one is going to be pretty exceptional as well. And I'm excited for our special oneg in honor of our new board. So please join us in the motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei avon.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.